Podcast. For the fans, by the fans. For the love of the game.
Hello, baseball fans, and welcome to Chop House Chatter. My name is Thomas.
And I'm Jackson.
And happy opening weekend. Baseball season is now officially here. How's it feel, man?
It feels great, but living up in the Northeast right now, they should play more games where it's warm because the weather in these games has been atrocious.
Now, if you're talking about weather being warm, Chad Chisholm Jr., he had an interesting quote this weekend. He said he's used to playing indoors, and they opened the roof of their stadium in Miami for 3 out of 4 games. He said he could not see the ball from home plate. How do you feel?
I think he needs to play outside some more. Baseball's meant to be played outside.
No, baseball's definitely an indoor sport, according to him.
100%. I mean, I played baseball indoors when I was like 2 and wrecking my parents' living room, but
so yeah, you got winless Miami down there complaining about the sun. Of course, that's 100% what's going on with it. And you got the Braves just beating up on the Phillies. So all is right in the world, right?
Yeah, I mean, game 1 was a little scary. They went down. They went down big. Well, I guess not big. They were down 2-0. Zach Wheeler on the mound. It felt like deja vu. But,
as much as Zach Wheeler is a great, unbelievable pitcher, I'm not afraid of him, if that makes sense.
Yeah, he didn't even look like he had his best stuff on opening day. Mm-hmm. The Braves were just rocketing balls all over the place right at people. And I'm like, something's got to give.
Was that the 19 hit game?
No, they only got 13 in the first game.
13. Got it.
But it kind of culminated with Adam Duvall coming off the bench and hitting the 2-run double to tie the game.
Gotta love that Duvall. He wasn't even on the roster a week ago, and now he's being the hero in opening day.
Dude, he's the lefty killer. It's the perfect platoon for Jared Kelnick. This is like the dream pairing.
Yeah,
Kelnick had a pretty decent opening day aside from getting thrown out stealing. While Acuna was batting. Probably not the best decision to run on Real Muto.
But he hasn't played with Acuna for a while, so let's give him a little bit of credit. Everyone knows you don't run with Acuna at the plate. You let him do his thing.
Yeah, I agree with that. He got a decent jump. It's just elevated fastball, Real Muto behind the plate. He was already standing up when he caught that ball.
Yeah,
he's just that quick. So he got hosed. I mean, maybe an off-speed pitch with that jump, he's got it, but he's impressed me.
Yeah.
So far.
So does this mean the Braves are going to be running a lot more this year, like as a full team, not just Acuna hitting 70?
I think so. I think there's definitely guys on this roster that can run. Acuna can run. Harris can run.
Ozzy
can run. Ozzy.
I don't see Arcia trying to steal any bases.
No, he's not that fast, but I think Austin Riley's like sneaky. He's one of those guys that if like Freddie Freeman, if you can pick a time to run, he could definitely steal some bases. And Freeman's a weird guy when it comes
to steal. We'll have to look that up. I feel like he hasn't been thrown out in like the past 3-4 years stealing bases.
Freeman, not really, no, but he stole like 20 bases last year or something.
I think that's what I remember. He went for like 20 for 20 because no one ever expects him to run.
No, you pick the right, you pick a good counter run. You pick a pitcher who's ignoring you because, you're Austin Riley. When's the last time Austin Riley stole a base,
Yeah.
So I definitely think the Braves have the speed, but I think, it showed in game 1, they're aggressive on the base pass. They take that extra base. They're relentless.
So go to break now. How was the game?
I mean, after tying the game, they lit up Jose Alvarado.
Yeah.
In the 8th inning, and it was wonderful.
I can always get behind a 7-run inning. I can always be a fan of that.
I missed that all offseason. I missed the Braves, just putting up cricket numbers, and it was great. Matt Olson had 3 doubles on his birthday.
Happy birthday to him. Was he 30 now?
He's 30. The ripe old age of 30.
I'm older than our first baseman. It just feels weird because I've always looked up to the Braves my entire life growing up, and now I'm older than half the team.
I haven't quite hit the 3 decade mark yet, so.
Damn.
But yeah, I mean, I guess the biggest negative of the first game of the year after that comeback was Sean Murphy tweaking his oblique.
They did add him to the IL, so we get to see exactly how deep this Braves team is. And as we're filming this episode, we're currently 3-1. We have an extremely deep team where it's just next man up mentality, right?
Yeah, I mean, Chadwick Tromp's not a terrible hitter, and he only needs to catch like what once every 3-4 games to get Darno off his knees. So
I mean,
uh,
Darno is still a all-star level catcher. He did make the all-star game.
yeah, I mean, he calls a good game. He's respected by the pitchers. He gets rub base runners out. So whatever he does, hitting is gravy. But Travis is a really good situational hitter. I
Yeah.
think he slots in nicely behind Michael Harris, who's been on a tear. Had 3 hits on opening day.
Yeah.
Thomas, 3.
Hey, that he's on my roster for MVP watch. So keep going for it, Harris. Keep going.
Yeah, he's been crazy through the first 4 games. But yeah, I thought game one was an all around great team win. The bullpen up till Aaron Bummer in the ninth gave up a run, but I'm not really going to tag that on him because when you're up that big, you let the runner take second base.
Yeah.
So he just gave up, a walk, and then he gave up a hit, and that's a run. So
Yeah.
with the defensive indifference, but they struck out what 15 batters on opening day or something like that.
That's a
The
great
pitching
start.
staff. That's a great start. So Jimenez was great. Pierce Johnson was nasty. AJ Minter came out and did his job. So
Strider
hopefully,
got his 8 strikeouts minimum like he always does.
yeah, he didn't seem fully stretched out. So it'll be interesting. You kind of limit the innings early in the year.
Yeah.
His velocity definitely dipped in the 5th inning. But yeah, it was a good win. I enjoyed it, and it was a great seeing them knock around Alvarado.
Yeah.
After coming so close in the playoffs last year, like 3 or 4 times.
Now, if you want to talk about limiting the innings for our opening, for our pitchers, our starting pitchers, Max Fried, he definitely limited his innings. He did not go very
Oh,
long, did he?
he didn't look sharp.
No.
He
He
he was
he threw 42, 43 pitches in the first inning, got pulled after 2 outs. It's not a very good start for your backup ace. And I say
not a very
backup ace because he's not a number 2 pitcher. He is a number 1 ace pitcher.
yeah, not the way he probably wanted to start his the final year of his contract.
Yeah.
But bad umpiring aside, he kind of put himself in that position. Walking a couple batters before.
Yeah. But we're not going to blow past that bad umpiring. Hey,
Oh no,
listeners, if you have not seen that video, please go look it up. I think Bali Sports on Instagram, TikTok has it. Ball was
everywhere had it.
directly down the middle of the plate. It was, oh goodness. Bases loaded, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Had they scored at that point, or had they gotten
No,
1 run?
I don't think they had scored at that point. Maybe 1 run was it.
That's an inning changer. And if Max Free gets out of that inning right there like he should have, that could have gave him the confidence to come back stronger. He could have gone a normal 4, 5, 6 innings if he had gotten that kind of confidence.
Yeah, and we'll talk about the impact that had on the bullpen, but Jesse Chavez came in and was Jesse Chavez. So
Another person that wasn't on the team a week ago.
no, who had a terrible spring training. Everyone's like Jesse Chavez is washed. Braves got him for free.
Yeah.
And
He gets
poor
out there,
Jack.
would get a 1 run in his 3 innings, got the win for us.
Yeah, 2 hits, no walks.
That's not bad for a stretch assignment
No.
that you weren't ready for. Who expects the bullpen to have to get up in the first inning and still get the win out of it?
Jesse Chavez is the ageless wonder. I feel bad for Jackson Stevens because he got DFA'd.
Yeah,
because they got Jesse Chavez back. I hope he finds a good team. He's a solid pitcher, but
he's a great pitcher. Yeah,
Jesse Chavez is Uncle Jesse. So
love Uncle Jesse. Seeing him come
yeah,
out there with the glasses on, with the hat, throw the hood on top of the hat. I love seeing him come out there, especially when the bullpens clear out. You just see him crossing his arms on the warning track back there, just waiting to run in like he's the enforcer.
yeah. I loved when they made a scarecrow of him last year in the bullpen.
Yeah, with that comebacker, that was a great experience.
To celebrate the home runs with. But yeah, Chavez came in and kind of stymied the Phillies offensively. Well, the Braves just kind of ran over
Took
Aaron
off,
Nola.
and we never stopped. We got 2 runs in the first, 3 runs in the second, 2 runs in the third. Racked up 19 hits, 12 runs. That is a great start to the season. I mean, that's back-to-back double-digit days, isn't it? Or did we only get 9 the first day?
Only 9 in the first game, but still, the offense looks like it picked up where the regular season offense left off last year,
Yeah.
which is good.
I didn't see
Kel-
this during spring training, though. It kind of like just flipped the switch.
Yeah, that's the weird thing for me. That spring training, I think they were working more on approach in spring training
Yeah.
because you can kind of tell this series they did a great job. Let's see, because if you look, they only struck out 5 times in
So
game
maybe,
2.
yeah, they were just working on stuff. They weren't really going up there with their full normal mentality at the plate.
Yeah, let's see, they struck out 5 times in game 2. They didn't strike out a lot on opening day either.
Yeah.
So I just think the Braves, they really worked on that plate approach. Oh, I stand corrected. They struck out 10 times on opening day.
Ooh, 10 times. I mean, that's Zach Wheeler, though.
With Zach Wheeler. You know, I definitely feel they were seeing a lot of pitches. They're being very patient. I think Acuna worked a walk in game 2 or game 3 where he didn't swing the bat. I think that was the
your
lead.
MVP. He has to be doing stuff like that. That is a leadoff batter's mentality he's supposed to have.
Yeah, I think that was game 3, just dipping into game 3 for a second against Ranger Suarez. He took a 6-pitch walk. I've never seen Acuna not swing the bat.
He
Especially
loves swinging the bat. That's what he does.
But yeah, so Fried had a rough start, but the bullpen, 8 1/3, 1 run. Kelnick had 3 more hits.
Kelnick and Harris are battling each other. They're both batting. I think they're both at least 400 averages right now. I mean, I hope they can stay over 3 the whole season.
Yeah, I think Kelnick hitting in front of Acuna, it's like the dream scenario for him because he's a talented enough hitter where he's going to punish pitches in the zone.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's that approach. He really seems like he looks for pitches in certain spots in the zone.
Yeah.
It doesn't chase quite as much because I think I've only seen him strike out once. I've watched all 4 games.
Yeah, I think he has only struck out once, which was a big thing, a big storyline with him coming over to Atlanta. He had a high strikeout rate over in Seattle.
Yeah, it was like 30% or something like that. So I mean, obviously he's not going to sustain, one strike, a strikeout every 15 at bats.
Yeah.
Like a 9 strikeout percentage. But even if he can, chop 5 percentage points off that strikeout rate and convert it into something, a single or a walk, Kelnick's going to be a really good player.
Yeah. And he's going to get a lot better pitchers with him being right above Acuna because you're not going to pitch around Kelnick when you got the reigning MVP on deck. So you're going to give your best pitches to him. You're going to try to get that out, and that's going to allow Kelnick to just eat at that point, right?
Yeah, I think it's great that it's allowed Harris to slide down into the 6 hole where I think it's fantastic that he hits after a guy like Ozuna who draws a lot of walks.
Yeah.
Olson draws a lot of walks. Riley gets on base too. So there's 3 guys ahead of Harris who get on base. And man, this guy just rakes extra bases. His home run in the 9th inning was crushed.
Yeah. But let's not forget about Mr. Not in the top 10 second baseman Austin Albies. Getting our first home run of the season, and just like everybody else in the lineup, he's killing the ball like he's supposed to be killing it, right?
Yeah, Ozzy looks like he's hot out of the gate, which is great because he usually starts off pretty slow, and then kind of heats up in the middle, and then he's hit or miss at the end of the season. But hot out of the gate is great, and I think it's great for the team. Kind of set the tone. Acuna doesn't have a home run yet, but if Albies behind him is hot,
yeah,
you kind of have to pitch to Acuna because when Ozzy isn't hot, teams kind of they get nibbly in the zone against Acuna and run the risk with Albies, which is probably in most situations the correct thing to do.
Yeah, and
like
you should be doing it. Yeah.
No disrespect to Ozzy, but like he's a 250 hitter from the left side of the plate. So if you have a right hander in, you're just kind of like, I don't want to pitch to Ronald.
Yeah. But hey, between game 2 and game 3, Ozzy has 2 home runs from both sides of the plate. So I like what I'm seeing so far.
Yeah, we could talk about game 3 real quick.
Yep.
I mean, it's a game they probably should have won. But having to cover 8 1/3 innings from the bullpen kind of sunk them in this one.
Yeah, at some point this weekend, our bullpen was going to fall. They were going to fall victim to it. So they did give up 3 runs in the seventh, but I'm still excited about every aspect of this entire team so far this season, this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like the worst loss. I mean, again, we talked about it before the broadcast. Bummer was like 3 times he had 2 strikes. He was either one pitch away from getting out of it with the lead or getting out of it tied. You
Yeah.
know, and I think the little bloop single, really unlucky, dropped right in front of Duvall. So I'm not going to hold it against Bummer. A lot of people are calling for his head.
Yeah.
I, a tough assignment for him. The Phillies had all righties in basically, so with the
Yeah.
platoon split, so you can't really count on Bummer, because he's going up against the lefty specialists.
Yeah.
I don't really blame him. 2 of those hits weren't hit very hard. Yeah,
And there's a reason we play 162 games throughout the season. I had just a sliver of hope we would go 162-0. Hasn't happened before, but had to get out of loss eventually.
yeah, and I mean, he was also like 6 inches away from getting out of it with the double play ball that was overturned
Yeah.
via replay. So literally a game of inches. He gets that double play. Minter comes in and probably shuts the door in the 8th, and Iglesias shuts him down in the 9th.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Offense is working. I love what I'm seeing behind the plate. We're plus 22 run differential, averaging over 8 runs a game. Even with that four run loss, that's still a great team. That's a great experience out there, and I'm looking forward to this entire season.
yeah, going to talk about Kelnick in Game 3 again. Pinch a double. How about that?
Hey, if he's going to continue to do this all season, there's no reason we won't be the best team out there again.
Oh, absolutely. I think and I think the pressure of not having to perform, be a superstar,
Yeah,
and then he's platooning with a guy like Adam Duvall, who's
that's
a
going to
vet.
also mentor him out there.
Adam's a great guy, and also he's Blooper's favorite player. So no hating Adam Duvall around here because Blooper will find you.
I don't know. I think still his son might be a bigger fan of Blooper than him.
Oh, that's what I'm saying though, because his son and Blooper are best friends. He's Blooper's favorite player. So don't
Oh
mess
yeah.
with Adam. Don't mess with Duvy. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but 2 out of 3 on the road in Philly to start the season, pretty good.
So let's go ahead and head into Chicago this week. As of this filming, we have won the game already 9-0. That's a great start in that horrible weather condition. And Jackson, you were just saying it's going to be bad weather tomorrow as well, right?
Yeah, there's snow in the forecast. It looks like they bumped the start time of tomorrow's game back to 7:40.
Yeah, it's snow in April. You heard that right. This
So
is blowing my mind.
we'll see if they play. The weather's supposed to be a little better on Wednesday.
Yep.
A big plus is the Braves can't play on their off day because I think the White Sox have to be in Kansas City on Thursday.
All right. So
Yeah.
yeah, let's finish it up.
So
Get that off day, get back home for the home opener.
yeah, worst case scenario, you play a late doubleheader Wednesday, but then you get a whole off day.
Yeah.
And open this weekend against the Diamondbacks, which that's a spicy matchup, isn't it?
You go from Chicago White Sox to the Arizona Diamondbacks. I don't think it can get any better than that.
Hey, just got to keep the bats hot these next 2 games.
Yeah. So that's our opening weekend. Braves did go 2-1, currently sitting 3-1 after April Fool's Day. Everything's looking good about the team. You got any final comments for us?
Charlie Morton looked great. He loaded the bases in the first inning, got out of it, no damage, and shut the White Sox down. And Riley hit a dinger, so
hey,
he's on the
got
on the
Uncle
board.
Charlie out there being the league's best fourth starter in the whole league out there.
Yeah, I guess we didn't really mention it, but Game 3, Chris Sale pitched pretty well. Pitched into
And
the 6th inning.
that's something I look forward to with Chris Sale. He's not going to be, or he's not going to have to be that superstar that you talk about every single time he's out there. He can just be another face in the crowd, get his job done, and keep it moving.
Yeah, and actually, when Sale left the game on Sunday, he pulled the whole infield together, and he said, "Go finish the job." And I like the competitiveness of that, where he pulls his teammates aside and tries to hype them up.
Yeah.
He's a veteran guy. People will talk about his fiery personality. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing,
No, not at all.
especially a Braves team who has guys who like to compete. They like to play baseball.
Yeah.
In Atlanta. So I think Chris Sale slots in perfectly. He looks pretty good. 96 with that funky Randy Johnson looking delivery.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how any left-hander even steps into the box against him, because I saw a couple of sliders where I was like, huh?
Yeah. So that's going to do it for this opening weekend episode. As always, chop on, Jackson.
Chop on. See you at the end of the week.
Yes, sir.